Hello, it's Steve with CarSmart. We've got a lovely car for you today. This is a 2014 Infiniti Q50 all-wheel drive premium model. 160,346 kilometers, accident-free Ontario car. I picked it up from a dealer up in Newmarket that took it in on trade. And I'm very, very pleased with this car. It's in wonderful shape, drives wonderfully. Now we have put brand new brakes on it, as you can see in there. We've got nice fresh tires on it. These are all season steel belted radials. 17-inch, so not a super low profile, so they still have a nice ride. They're not a, sometimes you go up to these bigger low profile tires like 19, 20-inch wheels, and you know, they look nice, but they can really give you a harsh ride. You feel every crack in the road. Not the case with these. LED lighting all around, both your fog lights down below, LED projector headlights. Now these are off right now because the headlights are on, but these are what they call the daytime running lights, all LED as well. Even the brake lights are LED. Side signal lights integrated into the mirrors are LEDs. Color on this is called Hackane Blue, so gorgeous blue metallic, sort of with gray overtones over a charcoal interior. It's got the standard factory, what they call a solar tinted glass, or light greenish tint to it. Some people like a darker tint, and that can be easily done for a nominal cost. Nice big power sunroof on the top that both vents and fully slides open. You can see the little shark fin antenna up top. Of course, that's for the GPS navigation system, which this has, as well as satellite radio. In the back, again, a nice look with sort of chrome tip dual exhaust system. They use a stainless steel exhaust throughout too as well. I mean, it's a single exhaust that splits at the back, and it gives it a, again, nice sporty note to it without being overly aggressive. But the nice thing with stainless steel is, of course, is it lasts. They don't rust like regular steel muffler systems do. Also in the rear window we have what they call a diversity antenna. So right at the very top there are these little lines that look similar at first glance to the defrosting lines, but it's actually an antenna imprinted in the rear window. It's all designed to give you better FM reception when you're in downtown areas with tall buildings. Mirrors themselves have what they call a breakaway design, so if they get bumped, it doesn't do any damage. Of course, we have mentioned you got the signal lights in there. These are heated mirrors. The keys themselves, it's what they call an intelligent or proximity key system. So when you come up to the car, you just tap that little button. As long as the key is on your person and you're sort of within 2 meters of the doors, it will automatically open. It's been rust-proofed, and you can see rust-proofing plugs in a number of spots, you know, where they spray down into these closed, sort of boxed-off sections to apply it. And that's been done several times. And again, you can see them in the doors, and it certainly paid off because the body is mint on this. There's no rust at all. Courtesy lights in the doors, of course, full leather interior with a nice aluminum sort of trim throughout. It's got a premium BOSE audio system. You can see the little BOSE moniker there and those sort of corner speakers, but it's what they call a studio sound of 14 speakers. It's got 2 10-inch subwoofers in the rear deck. And again, pumps it out quite nicely. So lots of power. Auto up-down windows in all 4 corners. Power door locks, power mirrors, power seats, including power lumbar support there. Full leather interior. That's a perforated leather with with heating, like multi-stage heating. But the perforations, it just makes it, I guess, more comfortable in the summertime because it's more, especially with shorts on and whatnot on a hot day, it just breathes better. We've got a tilt and telescopic steering wheel down below here. You've got your anti-skid control, turning it off. Now it's always on, and there is the ability to turn it off if you need to spin the wheels. Power trunk release, individual sort of vent flow controls. Over here we have all our dimmer switch and trip odometer reset for the dashboard lighting and of course the trip computer. Nice clean instrumentation. Nice big analog. It's not overly digitized. Of course, you have a digital sort of center, what they call TFT center. We've got all your sort of fuel economy and your various trip computer functions there as well. You'll see down below here P, and below that it says standard, and this has the ability to select through what they call a drive mode a number of different setup. So let me just sort of cycle through there. You'll see eco mode, snow mode, going the other way, sport mode, and a personal mode. Personal mode is such that you can go into the system and sort of tailor it to your needs. If you like firm steering, but you know, softer shifting, more of a normal shift pattern, you can select different parameters that best suit your driving style. Headlights here, of course, we do have automatic control. That's where normally you'll leave them. Of course, you have a separate little switch there for your fog lights on and off. Variable delay wipers are over here. Full intermittent settings. You've got a steering wheel that's all sporty. Again, 3-spoke steering wheel, leather wrapped. All the multifunction controls here as well for volume control, voice controls for all the voice controlled functions, Bluetooth phone. Of course, it has Bluetooth phone, Bluetooth media streaming, and then you can go through your various selections here for your map menus and selections, all from the steering wheel controls. Also, your cruise control is here. And then you've got multifunction controls here to go through, and you can select your various display there. Tire pressure monitoring, if there's any warning lights coming up, trip computer. You can see some of the different functions coming through there as well. Without going through all of them, over here we do have a push button stop start system. Again, all linked to these intelligent keys, so you don't have to put the key into a port or anything to make it operate. All done by proximity. So, and when the battery gets low on those keys, it'll alert you on the dash. So, and you're never stuck, because even within the keys themselves, and you can see both of them sitting here with that little switch on the back, you can sort of pull out the key itself, and there is a regular key within there, so you're never locked out of the vehicle even if the battery does go dead. What you would do is just sort of hold the key right up against the where the button is, just below here. There's a sensor there that will read the intelligent key even if the battery is fully dead, so you can still start the car and get into the car at all times. You've got a nice sort of double screen layout. Again, it's all high definition, full color as well. You'll see controls here. For example, I'm on the climate control screen there now, but you'll see your air conditioning, dual mode, heated steering wheel control, heated seats. You just sort of tap here and you can see you've got 3-stage, high, mid, and low, or off, which is what we're going to do today. We don't need our heated seats in this time of year. And then, of course, the nice thing is there's sort of dual functionality, so I can control my my fan and blowers control independently with these switches, or I can sort of slide across and just tap it as well. So it's much like sort of a tablet or whatnot. It's all touch sensitive. Up top here, of course, we have our map controls. You can see a nice big full color map, and you can set it in sort of a flat map view or a 3-dimensional or bird's eye view, as we have right now. Down below here, this is telling you what our current audio selection is. Right now I have my phone hooked up and with Bluetooth streaming, and then of course in the corners there you'll see individual climate control settings, just as you see here, and those are controlled again just by lowering or raising for driver and passenger depending on which bank you're on. Other controls here, again, defrost, electric defrosting, on off for the whole system. A quick push of the audio button will bring up your audio selection. Okay, as we can see there now. But we've got FM, Sirius XM, AM, disc playing, so it has a CD player that reads both CD as well as MP3 encoded or homemade discs. You've got iPod compatibility and Bluetooth audio control. So lots of different ways to go in and stream or to listen to different various music, be it FM, radio, etc. And of course, with satellite radio, that is a subscription-based service, but we do have an offer from SiriusXM. They're giving you effectively a 90-day free trial if you want to do a sort of a 3-month test of SiriusXM before you start paying for it. So that's an option you can ask us about. The central button here is your main menu. So this is where we get into different settings and setup and whatnot. Of course, all the books and manuals are here, and every car is going to be different, and it always takes some time to get used to the new controls and what's there. The nice thing with this one is everything is with it, all its original books, manuals, leather folio, 2 keys, Carfax history report. I'll just sort of point out here, and no accidents, no damage records. 32 different service records from the beginning, and you'll see most of them here at Markham Infiniti. Very, very well serviced car. And you'll see crown rust proofing. Gosh, and I didn't count them all up, but I think 7, 8, 9 different times it's been crown rust proofed. So all that leads to a body that's just like brand new. Through the center here we have, of course, your transmission shift. You have your normal drive mode. This is a 7-speed overdrive. We have a manual shift ability where we can upshift and downshift just with the shifter. One neat thing that this has, which was really lifted from the Infiniti 370Z and the kind of the Infiniti cousin, the Q50 Coupe. Those are called rev matching downshifts. So if you're in the manual mode and you're downshifting, it actually blips the throttle to give a quicker, more responsive downshift, and it sounds really cool too. So it's really neat technology that you see on F1 cars, etc. Obviously here we have cup holders. This is that drive select mode we talked about earlier. These are some alternate controls for map and voice controls. Okay, and then like a little function. This acts just like a mouse here, so you can select and access all your navigation functions right from that sort of mouse type controller. We have a nice big deep sort of central armrest with a storage console, 2 12-volt power plugs, USB ports, auxiliary audio input ports. So there's lots of different ways again to feed media, charge your devices, etc. Lockable glove box with a light inside. Valet switch here, which can lock out your trunk for security if you're leaving it with valet parking. Got an auto dimming rear view mirror, HomeLink universal garage door opener, so you can set up to 3 different remotes for opening garages, turning on outside lights, even things like entry gates to bigger estates, etc. Overhead here we have a drop down sunglasses holder. There's little speakers excuse me, and microphones embedded in here. This is what's picking up your voice and when you're doing any hands-free voice work. Of course, overhead lighting, individual map lights on either side. This is kind of all your lights for overhead, and you'll see those corner lights illuminating. And of course we've got that nice big overhead power sunroof. So from here, this is where we control the sunroof controls. You've got that full sliding open. We can vent it, and that's just done by pushing on that switch rather than sort of pushing or pulling it. There we go. And you see how that pops up. And then we do have a sliding sunscreen as well. Leaving that cracked and vented, if you don't like the sun beating in on you and you like it dark, but you still want to vent it, you can do that just by opening it partially. So real simple to work. There we go. Visors. Now we have those little clips on the back side, just sort of handy for notes or things you want to sort of keep close by. We have dual illuminated mirrors, overhead assist handles for all 4 doors. Those rear lights, I've got them on now with the overhead lighting. Just turn that off, but there's a little switch on there, so you can use those like a reading lamp in the back as well. Seat belts themselves are height adjustable, and they also have what they call collision pretensioners. Now these are linked to the airbag system, such that in a serious accident, not a low speed 5-kilometer impact, but typically when airbags are deployed up front and for side impact, etc., the seatbelt pretensioners will activate as well. And what they do is, as the name suggests, is they tension up and take all the slack out of the seat belts. And it just allows the seat belts to really be more effective and to do their job by taking that slack out. And just better restraint is always better for safety. Headrests themselves are active head restraints or anti-whiplash, so they help reduce whiplash. We've got side impact airbags within the bolsters themselves. We have curtain airbags over the front windows and rear windows. We have frontal airbags here and here for both driver and passenger. These being what they call a multi-stage or dual-stage airbag that will go off at a lower or higher threshold based on the amount of impact energy. So it's an intelligent system, so it reads the amount of impact force and gives you the appropriate amount of airbag deployment and cushioning without giving you too much. So again, all very intelligent and all designed to give you just the right amount. Now it's going to open up the hood. And the trunk. So we've got trunk release right here. Oh, we may have noticed, I didn't point it out, but WeatherTech floor mats for front and the back seat. And the rear one's sort of a one-piece mat, goes right up over the tunnel for the transmission. Nice big pockets. There's also a full set of carpeted mats in the trunk, which we'll see in a moment here. Of course, seat back pockets. Now you've got air conditioning and heat vents coming through here with individual flow control. You've also got vents under the seats themselves. This flips open for, well, it's an ashtray, but this has never been smoked in. You've got little cup holders here that fold out. We have nice... My apologies, accidentally hit the wrong button and stopped it. What I was showing you, though, of course, was a pass-through mechanism with a lock. And this gives you a pass-through through to the trunk. In addition, we also have a split 60/40 rear seat. Now, there's a release lever on the inside, which I'll show you in a moment. But we can fold down the smaller section or the larger section based on what your needs are. Now, also here, and you'll see these little slots that are right below these little markers. These are what they call the anchor points for child seats. In North America, they call it latch. On European cars, they call it ISOFIX, but it's effectively the same thing. But you can put car seats in any of the three positions across the back. We also have child-proof windows, which are controlled from the front switch plate, and then a child-proof door locks. And that can be achieved just by pushing that to the right there, and that cancels that inside release. As mentioned earlier, we have those overhead assist grips, individual lights that can be turned on separately for lighting. We have subwoofers in the back. This has dual 10-inch subwoofers in the rear. You can't really see them, they're all hidden up in here, but this is a premium BOSE system. These little release straps here are what releases the seats for fold down. So you can flip down one, as you can see here, or that other larger section as required. Now, inside, I think I mentioned earlier, we have the floor mats, and these have never been out of the plastic bag. These are brand new. Obviously, the previous customer used those WeatherTech mats year-round. This is a safety release. It's really designed for, if kids are playing and perhaps the older brother locks his little sister in the trunk or something silly like that. These actually are luminescent, so they glow in the dark, so it's a safety release to open the trunk. If we flip up the carpet, you'll see your spare tire toolkit, along with some extra storage areas on both sides. Now, I like how they've done here with external hinges. So these don't swing down and sort of impede or, crush your luggage or your golf clubs or anything inside, because the trunk closes solely from the outside. Of course, this is our rear backup camera. You can see the sunroof sort of in that vented position. This is just a lovely shape. Now, just sort of to the right of center is your release lever for opening that up. I mentioned the rust proofing. You can see the remnants, and this has been crown rust proofed, and if you look at the Carfax report, I believe it's 7 or 8 times over its lifetime, and it shows this body is in mint condition. 3.7 liter V6, WVEL stands for variable valve timing and event lift control. Fancy acronym for variable valve timing, but it's on both the intake and the exhaust cam, so definitely, again, it's a very responsive engine, lots of power, all without using turbocharging. And the nice thing I like about it is it's lower tech. We're not getting into direct ignition or DI. We're not getting into turbocharging. Albeit they have some advantages for more power, they can also be a real headache for maintenance and long-term reliability. So personally, I would take this engine over many of these newer cars with smaller 4-cylinder turbos any day of the week for reliability. And this one has been beautifully maintained, primarily at the Infiniti dealer in Markham. As mentioned, it was traded in at a dealership in Newmarket, where I acquired it from. But I think you'll be hard-pressed to find a nicer conditioned car for this age. I'm Steve. We're CarSmart in Niagara Falls. Thank you for watching.